What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today, well, we might have what is the saving of Star Expedition, as a lot of people have been very doom and gloom about it recently, and you guys, we'll talk about it specifically because there was going to be the DGN nerf. Technically, DGN isn't getting a nerf, and there was this really scary thought that the boss would actually start removing buffs from your team. It sounds like that is no longer going to happen. However, there are some changes coming our way. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that thumbs up button because this is really good news for us. Let's get going. So to start off, just to recap what we had previously known, these were going to be the changes that were implemented. So what we know so far is the Osis buff nerf is going to go into effect. So essentially, before it would give attack, holy damage, all damage dealt, and crit chance for 15 rounds. Instead, now it is going to give allies 25% all damage dealt, which is 15% more, but it's going to give crit and crit damage, which easily get capped out. 100% crit chance, 150% additional crit damage. Those are the caps. You're going to hit those quickly. The all damage dealt will be the only thing that will be able to be stacked indefinitely. Now, there are some changes coming to this in a couple different ways too. It's also been said, it sounds like the maximum stack of attack power increases is limited to 50. So I'm wondering if that means these guys are going to be limited to 52, or if they're only talking specifically about attack buffs. We'll have to see how that actually plays out. There will have to be testing on that, but this is going to be one of the changes that goes through. This thing here, so this abomination, Star Expedition bosses will get a passive skill at the end of the round, clears one random buff from 2 random enemies. That's not going to happen, it sounds like. That is gone. They're not going to go that route. They're going to do some other changes that we're going to talk about a little later today when we get a little bit more information, but this is going to be the biggest part right here. Is the fact that this was going to get implemented was going to be one of the most scary things. Now, at the end of each round, removes one attribute buff. They're still going to have the passive where at the end of each round reduces the energy of the enemy with the highest attack by 100. We already do that because we have Ignis, we have Energy Feed, we have Cause imprint setup. That's what keeps you getting your active every single round. That's all you worry about because you need that huge amount of energy to recoup, because of course your energy bar goes to 100. You don't get to visually see how high your energy does go though, because technically you can have more than 100 energy. There's just no visual indication on what that is. Now, let's jump over into the game real quickly here. That's really big because there were a couple key features that this change, I guess, was basically nerf, are going to happen. So one big thing here is, actually let's just view it from here since we get the full description. The big thing that would have been an issue was at the end of each round, increases the damage dealt by self to poison targets by 10%. Meanwhile, increases self attack by 12% and speed for 15 until the battle ends. That was really huge because 33% of that 10%, so 3.33%, would keep getting stacked on your main damage dealer, whether it's Fairy Queen Vesa, Doom Terror Vulcan, Lord of Fear Aspen, all those heroes. This would have been something that could have been removed from the boss, and that ends up being a ton of damage. Not only the attack stack, but this as well. Now, the other thing that would have been an absolutely huge thing is the fact that your attack steal on Lord of Fear Aspen would have also been able to be removed. So Aspen deals extra damage dealt by them and then steals 30% of the attack for them. This lasts forever. There's no round limit on the attack steal. So essentially, when you're using your active on the boss, you're just hitting with an active, hitting with an active, hitting with an active. You're just stealing more and more attack value from that target. That's what makes him so strong in the later rounds as well, in combination with a ton of other things, like whether you're using the wolf or you're using whatchamacallit, the snake for the stacking buff. There's a lot of buffs that stack up and at the end of the round goes crazy. And then on top of that, of course, you have this buff here, which just gets, I mean, even more out of control. Just Antlers Cane stacking, just gets really crazy. And yeah, So we're not having buffs removed. So that's something to keep in mind. I think that's pretty much all we're going to share now, because there are some other changes coming our way. But the only other thing I want to talk about is the fact that Osis is changing is going to be a little bit detrimental to some other types of things, because I know there's some people out there, you don't have the full setup, you don't have your lucky candy bars. Honestly, investing in Star Expedition is not a good idea. If you enjoy it, then sure, go for it, because you got to have fun in games the way you have it. The rewards for Star Expedition just aren't that great, and it does start tonight, so it's perfect time to get all this final information. We'll probably see, I think we'll still see people getting close to killing the boss like Utopia did. Utopia really used the Doppelganger Natalia bug to, or not even bug, just the way the interaction works. Really used it in an interesting way. But what this also does mean is Doppelganger Natalia's basic essentially isn't going to be able to replicate attack buffs through the roof. What she still might be able to do is use Osis, because Osis is giving 25% all damage dealt. If that can still be replicated a ton of times, she still might be able to do very competitive damage with Osis. We'll just have to see how that plays out. Just remember, there's a lot of RNG with this hero. There probably will continue to be a lot of RNG, because of course, if the boss isn't removing buffs, you're just using your basic attack over and over to replicate a ridiculous number of buffs, and you'll be in a good spot. The big thing is, I just don't know what they mean when they say the maximum attack power increase is going to be limited to 50 times. If it's limited to 50 times, even for things like all damage dealt and all these other things, I think Doppelganger Natalia is just dead in the water. And I don't know if that means is just in Star Expedition mode or if it's in every single game mode. The one other saving grace here is that there is one other change coming, most likely in the form of Gurk, which we'll talk about later. I think I have some information coming that'll help us. Either way, we're going to start getting some divine power gap in Star Expedition. I mean, even me, we already have a 20% damage boost after all other effects. And then on top of that, I mean, his skill is just insane. You're basically getting it like every, third round, essentially, dealing an extra 2,000 plus more damage. Like, Lord of Fear Aspen is going to slap this week coming up, and I'm excited to see what the big whales can actually do with this too, because it's gonna be a little crazy. Let's just put it that way. It's gonna be crazy. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Thank goodness Star Expedition is saved. I know a lot of people on the forums and stuff really enjoy it. I know there's a lot of you guys out there that honestly don't care about this game mode whatsoever. Like, you wish there was just a smash button. And I still agree, a smash button I think is needed, because it is one of the lower participated in game modes, but the high-end players really like chasing the clout and the fun of it. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Star Expedition is saved. See you guys next time.